This is Brian Walsh, and today I'm going to talk about Batman. In particular, I'm going to look at whether or not his vigilantism is justified. Before we begin, we need to understand what vigilantism is. According to the definition we got in class, vigilantism is when individuals or groups defend the established order by resorting to means that violate the formal boundaries of that established order. So essentially, what they mean is that vigilantes act outside the law to enforce the law. The first step in understanding whether or not Batman's vigilantism is justified is to look how his character is portrayed in the novel, and particularly through the eyes of the media. When looking at the media's role in the story, it is important to note that they don't take a one-sided point of view. The dynamic role that the media plays is very important for our own understanding and justification of Batman's actions. Because we come into the novel with this predefined notion that, because it's a superhero comic, the superhero is the good guy. The issue with this is that it gives us the idea, or narrow-minded point of view, that all of the hero's actions are justified or good, but this isn't always the case. So the role the media plays challenges the reader to consider all the possibilities. In particular, there's a scene on page 42 that shows two citizens of Gotham, Lana and Mori, both of whom have conflicting views on Batman. Lana justifies Batman's actions, arguing that Batman is needed. On the flip side, Mori makes the argument that Batman's actions are in fact a crime. Even though Mori makes fair claims, Lana ends up having the final say in the debate, lending us to agree with her. The argument that many have against Batman is that villains in Gotham are a direct response to Batman and his actions. This is simply not the case. In Gotham, the criminals came first. Batman was the response. Even before Batman emerged, the crime, corruption, and violence were there. That's why Batman's parents died. The cops weren't doing their jobs. The cops allowed the city to slowly slip into a state where crime and fear ran the city, not cops and justice. So I said again, Batman was the response to this violence and crime. As the villains got more extreme, the actions Batman had to take to fight back and resist them had to become more extreme as well. And even if the argument is made where someone says the villains got more extreme in response to Batman, it doesn't matter because Batman and his actions are still needed. Just because a virus fights the drugs given to kill it and becomes more resilient, doesn't mean that you stop taking stronger drugs to fight it off. In this case, Gotham is the host and crime is the virus killing the city. Finally, to follow up the argument that the villains are a response to Batman and his actions, I say this. If Batman all of a sudden left, the crime wouldn't stop, nor would the extremity of it. When he disappeared for 10 years, the mutants came about, and Gotham continued to be ravaged by crime. The only direct result of Batman's return was the rebirth of the Joker. So now it's time to answer the big picture. Are Batman's actions justified? And my answer is, yes, they are. But not a long-term solution to the problem. The state of things in Gotham are so extreme that Batman can justify his extreme actions. The whole city is in constant fear, and the only way to fight fire is with fire. Batman has to stoop to the levels of the mutants and other criminals in the city by committing crimes such as intimidation or even extreme cases murder in order to enforce the laws of the city. The ones wreaking havoc on the city, the criminals and mobsters and the mutants, get what they deserve coming. The whole reason that Batman is needed is because the system in Gotham is corrupted. The police aren't doing their job to keep the people of Gotham safe. And when the system is this corrupt, we need someone who is outside the system to enforce the rules of the system. I think that using this logic ties back perfectly to the quote of vigilantism that I mentioned before. Individuals or groups defend the established order by resorting to the means that violate the formal boundaries of that established order. But the final call is up to you, the reader. Are Batman's actions justified? Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Please give it a thumbs up. Thanks again.